In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a product launch dashboard where you can track, document, and let other stakeholders or people know when a new product or feature has been launched. And this automates that whole process for you using this dashboard. All you need to do is add in the application here, launch date, product owner, testing. I'm going to kick off that workflow. And then what this is going to do is add a row in Google Sheet that I've created. There you have it, added. It's also going to add it in a Notion that is added. And it's also going to send me an email notification. There. So if you want to see how to build this, stick around. I'm going to walk you through that whole process now, from planning it in ChatGPT, writing the PRD, to then building it in Lovable. So let's jump right into that. Today, we are going to be building a product launch dashboard. Basically, what this is for is a way of tracking, documenting, and letting people know if their product feature launches in a more automated manner. And so building something to assist with that task, because no one likes chasing down stakeholders to get products to the next step, right? So as is our way of working, going to use my project here in ChatGPT before we even go to Lovable to, in essence, draft something up. And I have this here that I'm going to add. It's just basically giving some background and context. And then I also have a sketch of kind of the workflow. That's right there. So basically, I don't know if we can, yeah. So we have the dashboard. It's going to add an entry, a row into a Google Sheet. Also update the product documentation in Notion, and then email stakeholders, right? So that's the flow that we're looking for. And then also on this, going to basically include the different components. Just so we have it all nicely. Components. Okay, so that's basically my components. And please help me come up with a PRD for this that I can use as my prompt in Lovable. Lovable. All right, let's see what it comes up with. All right. So I'm actually going to copy this PRD. Where do you copy this? Copy that. And going to go to different project, which is this one. Please reference the PRD below and help me draft the prompts to use in Lovable in building this in a modular scaling fashion. Throw that in there. Let's see if this gives us anything different. Okay. So step one, we have our PRD that I would put in the knowledge section in Lovable, and then we have our modular prompts. Not sure which ones I'll use yet. I may still tweak these a little bit, but basically have our framework here. So these will be the steps that I would build this in. And then at the end of the day, we'll see what we come up with. But we're all ready to go into Lovable now. So we will do that in the next video. All right. Stay tuned. All right. So I went ahead and threw up a very quick product launch dashboard. We already got our PRD. We did all that stuff. And so I just threw this up here quickly. This is a very basic version, not at all fully built out yet, but just wanted to show the workflow for this in terms of setting up a backend with Zapier as well as in Google Sheets so that and a Notion so that these entries can get logged. So the first thing, I have a Google Sheets set up, our product launch tracker. I have our different fields here, different columns. I also have a product launch database set up in Notion. Again, if you just want to know how to do this, you can just like do a database, use your / in Notion to create a database. You guys, assuming you're familiar with Notion or wherever you would like to store this information, right? But Notion is what I use. So I have that set up. Nothing in there yet, nothing in here yet. And then in Zapier, however you say it. Anyway, first thing is you want to create a webhook. I already created that. And so I went ahead and published this actually. So basically, when you would go to create, just show you that flow. If you're interested. Let's edit the existing draft. Okay. So basically you would set up a webhook. You would just select this here. The trigger event would be catch hook, right? And then I'll just copy the key, which I have here. And this actually I need to put here in Lovable. So I'm gonna put the key right there. I'm gonna save that. I don't think this will persist because I don't have any backend here in Lovable, so I'm not sure that will save, but regardless, that's there. It will work for our purposes here of testing this out. And then we should be good there, right? I already set this up, so I'm really just showing you here. And then in the setup here, you would choose our app. It basically looks like this. You pick whatever app you want, fine. The action, we want to create a spreadsheet row, right? So you have all these different things you can do. But we're creating a spreadsheet row. You connect your Google account. And then basically you're mapping the fields in, it'll recognize the fields that are here. And then what you're basically doing at that point is mapping it to what the webhook, once you set up the webhook and copy this link, then you'll be able to copy that link in Lovable. Then you'll be able to essentially map this here. And to map, all you need to do is do /. It'll pull these up, and then you select, I already selected product name here, so I'm not going to add something else, but just do /. It pops this up, and then you select what maps to each one. So you go through and do that for all of these. I went through and did that for all of these. And then you do similar for Notion. You connect it. Create a database event was the action I chose, because as I showed you, I had a database table here. So that's what I use. You can use a page or whatever, however way you want to do it. That's just how I chose to do it, using the database as the action event. And then you go through the same process of mapping. You choose the database that you, so this says product launch database. Again, that's the database I created here on this page. So once you've set it up and you click on database here, it should show you different options, and then you can just pick the one you want. So I had already done that, right? And then again, you map these, go through that same process. And then the last step is for the email notification. So Gmail action was to send an email, connect to my account. And then here's pretty easy. Obviously here I just hard coded the 2, which is my email, just to show the example. But obviously you can use more complex rules if you want to, if you have like a list of people that you want to email, or distro list or something like that. You can set that up as well. I actually haven't done that, so I don't know how that would work, but I'm assuming you can do that. The from's from my email as well, that's connected here. I wonder, yeah, you would just select that because that's the email that I have here. And then from, I just used, again, you can map the fields from the webhook. I just used from the owner, subject, product name, and then I just added in this text, has been launched, ! And then for the body, just generic text here. We have exciting news, the following product launch has been scheduled, product name, then I added that, launch date, added that, owner. I can do timestamp 2 just to show you what I did. And I want it from the webhook, timestamp, right? Okay, so I just added that in, so we have that. And I think that's all for now. I already tested this, so I'm just going to go ahead and publish everything. Let's do V2. Zap will turn on and use this new version. Okay, cool. All right, so this is version 2. And then all we're going to do now is go back to Lovable. And I'm going to fill this out. Let's see. Let's do our egg boiler app. And let's say the launch date was yesterday. That's fine. And then this egg boiler app is going to be amazing. Whatever. So, moment of truth, hit process workflow. Okay, workflow triggered. And then let's go. Our launch date configuration is kind of funky, but that can be edited. But again, you see we have the entry here, and then we should also have an entry in our, yep, the date was fine here. So that's pretty cool. And then I should have an email. Just gonna check my email. I should have an email. And there's the email. Now the timestamp I just added for version 2. So that's pretty much, we have this set up, so we can go ahead and refine it some more. I don't know why the launch date and the timestamp are showing up weird now, but that's just a formatting thing. Not too worried about that. So that was creating a product launch dashboard and using Zapier as the backend, as well as Google Sheets and Notion. All right. Until the next one. See you guys.